The Brooklyn Nets are trading Joe Harris to the Detroit Pistons for 2 second-round picks. And we're hearing that Bojan Bogdanovic might be on the move. And this deal creates a $19.9 million trade exception for the Brooklyn Nets, who will continue to be making deals throughout the summer as they're just retooling their roster as they build around Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. My belief right here, though, is that our man, the Detroit Pistons, got Joe Harris because they believe Bojan Bogdanovic will be traded. And Joe Harris, it was either Joe Harris or Evan Fournier, I bet you, they were deciding who could rebuild their value quicker. And I think they decided Joe Harris could easily rebuild his value because Evan Fournier's value didn't become depleted due to injury. No, it became just because he wasn't really efficient as he used to be. While for the Nets, Joe Harris lost his value because he struggled to come back from injury and his contract wasn't too handicapped. So what I could see is this is a guy who, yes, in the 14 games he played in 21-22, he was averaging 11 points a game. But this past year, he played 74 games and he averaged 7.6 points. And it was a 2027 Maverick second rounder and a 2029 Bucks second rounder to Detroit along with Joe Harris. And so it's going to be interesting how it goes down. As I incorrectly reported at the beginning of this video that the picks were coming from Detroit, but Detroit is basically just taking on Joe Harris. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out because I think Joe Harris could either just get straight up bought out or he could be sent, in a future trade where they're like, okay, Joe Harris, you've rebuilt your value. But what it does is, so Joe Harris is going to the Pistons for 2 future second round picks. And the Nets sent 2 picks. So the Nets are sending the Pistons a 2027 second rounder and a 2029. But the Pistons are also sending 2 second rounders as well. So it's really exchange of second rounders and Joe Harris. And Joe Harris, if he can get back to being what he was between 2017 and 2020, which was like 13, 14 points per game scorer, it's really not that bad. And Joe Harris, before he really, he started the season off bad, okay? He started off the season not the best, but he still shot 40+% from 3. Well, he didn't start the season off terrible. He started 6.5 points, and then in December he got to 10 points a night, but then his minutes kind of just decreased. Like at one point he was scoring in December 10 points a night, but by the end of the season there was a point where he was scoring like 5 points, 6 points a night, and then at the end of the year he closed it out averaging just 7 points a night. So the Nets kind of phased him out. So I feel like Joe Harris, who right now his contract is a few seasons left, he's still a sharpshooter. Like if they want to rebuild his value, they can. But the other good thing about Joe Harris is his contract, the 4-year, $75 million deal, expires, I believe, after this coming year. So it's not the worst thing, okay, in the world, because it's technically an expiring deal. Because the first year was 21, 22, then 22, 23, I believe. It expires after this coming season. So it's only $19.9 million. Not bad, in my opinion. Could have been worse. I think they did the right move.